All right, family. We black again with the general, man. We tapping back in on our ancient Olmec, ancient Egyptian, ancient African origins, tapping into that high frequency energy of our ancestors. We in the house. Uh, and we just did, we got off of, was it possible for the ancient Egyptians to make it across, the Nubians, the Phoenicians, all the ancient Africans, advanced civilizations, the ones that had proven, through, megalithic structures, boat, development, ship development, not just no damn canoe. Most of these cultures only had a canoe. Even the Romans, their advanced shipping came from reverse engineering of the Carthaginians, you see. And so we looking at the heads of the Olmecs. Is this proof that Africans came to America? I most definitely got to straighten that out. Let me see if they're gonna let me add, because I left the E out of there. Let me put the E in there. Let me put the E in there. Is that proof? Some people, they come up with all type of, that this, I don't know what Mexican y'all think this is, but y'all need to stop it. Y'all need, uh-oh, wait a minute, what did I do? Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let me do that. Let me do that again. Hold on, family. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me do this again. Okay, straighten that up. And then we're gonna get off into it. Because this, when you look at the level of engineering and architectural ingenuity to be able to do this. This is not no people that just got started. I can tell you that. This ain't nobody that just got started doing cutting in the stone. This is somebody that had already mastered the art form. Okay. They had already mastered it. And to be able to master this level, man, and let me get to know, let's get on in here. You see this? And you talking about 40 tons. Some of them was even heavier than that. I think some of them got up to about 80 tons. I believe so. I think there was some of them maybe was, I know there was 50, but it might have been one that got up to 80. And to be able to carve the level, the stone, the tools, you know, this is masonry. This is masonry. When you cutting in stone, it take a certain level, and this is nobody that just got started. But see, the significance about this is that there is no evolution period of these heads. Meaning, as you come to America, you can't see no smaller move because these is the first. The old Mecca is the first that showed up. Even the first pyramid is over 100 feet in the sky. They didn't start small. In Egypt, you could see evolution. You could see where they started with the master bar. You see, they started with the master bar and then they worked their way up. They worked their way up. You see the evolution. Whereas when you look at the Olmec, I mean, they already advanced from the very beginning. And Egypt was advanced, but you see the evolution. So whoever these people from, wherever they were came from, they had already advanced the masonry. They had already advanced the skills in masonry. And this right here is beyond any doubt. This is thousands of years of evolution. This is thousands of years of evolution. You're not gonna do this. in no hundreds of years. You're not gonna do this level in no hundreds of years. This is somebody that been cutting stone, peoples that been then passed it down for generations. This is a generation, this is generational skill here, and because the head showed up like in the very beginning. And there's no evolution. Where did the evolutionary stage begin? Okay, chemistry, okay. Yeah, well, you already know. Still intact too. That's right. That's right. But that's why our people carved in stone. That's the significance of carving in stone. It lasts longer, But and so let me tie back in. Let's get here. Uh Now I want to show I want wait a minute, let me get it. Now, as you look here, is four elements that I want y'all to see in the Nile Valley culture. You see the pyramids, stone pyramids on top of it. You see the great Sphinx, the Horn, which is the largest statue, uh, I believe, on the planet. A megalithic, I believe it is. And then you got the Stella right above his head. That's would round it off at the top, usually a decree, usually some form of a spiritual ritual is on that. And they use it as a marker. It could be a marker for sacred grounds and things of that nature. It could be boundaries, let you know you're at the boundary of the Egyptian empire. And behind that, you see a stone sarcophagus. That's what I mean about Egypt being so prolific in masonry. This what separate Egypt from everything else is the masonry, the stone. Nigga, it take them pyramids take damn that man. Listen, that pyramid is at least a half a million years of evolution. Ain't no damn way you gonna do that. And you 100,000 years couldn't even get you that damn pyramid. 100,000 years couldn't get coming from a hut. Even a goddamn 100,000 years ain't enough to get you to build that pyramid. That pyramid is probably a half a million years of evolution. And so everything in Egypt is stone. You got to understand that they was using stone in the very earliest periods of Egypt. So when you talking about a nation that lasted for over 3,000 years, even Egypt lasted in, the practice of Egypt even went into where Christianity, it was still being practiced. They had to shut the mystery system down. I believe Justinian Theodosius, I think Theodosius closed the last temple down, which was the temple of Isis at Philae. That was like 500 AD. So people don't think, yeah, the practice and worship of Egypt came into the AD period. Okay, so they had, over three, and then not just Egypt, because you had megalithic building in Nubia, which is Sudan, and you had megalithic building in Ethiopia, because you got to think about the Aksumite Empire. The Aksumite Empire raised the largest stone monolith, not megalith, monolith. And when you say mono, that means one. That means it was cut from one piece of stone. It was carved out the mountain off of a monolith. And so one of them Stella at in Auxum, it fell down because they was trying to steal it, and it broke into pieces. But it was the largest monolith that had ever been raised on the planet. It was over 500 tons. Okay, it was over 500 tons. So when you talk about cutting into stone, The masters on the planet were the Africans in the Nile Valley. Second, second was the Naga Kushites over in India. But that's one and two. And the Egyptians in the Nile Valley still got India by light years. But India did, which was Africans that went over there, and they did produce some structures that deserve to be, applauded. There's no damn doubt about it. They are wonders of the world. But outside of Egypt and outside of the Naga Kushites of India, you don't have no other damn civilizations where they building and stuff. The Sumerians built them ziggurats with mud brick. They wasn't building with no damn stone. Wake up. So you look at this pyramid of Teotihuacan and you see the stela. You see the stela up here in ancient Egypt. You see the Olmec. This is Olmec too. That sarcophagus was Olmec, and it was found at Levanta. It was found at Levanta. And then they had a hieroglyphic system on top of it. It started with them. So when you start talking about cutting with stone, and you got to pinpoint immediately. This is advanced technology, man. This is no where in the hell did they learn? And see, this was what crazy about the Olmec is like they started, the heads were built at damn near the beginning. Shit. Where did the fuck they learn how to build like a cut like that? These was masters, man. Whoever cut these stones, they were masters, man. They was grand master masons. Ain't no other way to explain that. And the only people on the planet that was cutting stone to that perfection was the Africans of the Nile Valley. That's just the facts. Nah, you can we can go over this shit. And a lot of people try to run from it, but you can't. And the crazy thing about it, you got people down there trying to say that these is Mexican. That's a African if I ever seen one. I don't even have to look no damn further. I don't even need to argue with nobody. If you saw that in any nation in Africa, you would assume that it's African. Only somebody that's a psychopathic racist that can't accept African people having high technology and civilization is the only one that gonna try to tell you that this is not an African. And they all look the same. They look and you could tell they warriors because they got them helmets on. They kid the Olmecs about kicking ass. That's what they was about. And so yeah, this level of cutting these heads is amazing, you know. So you have to pinpoint immediately where at could they have learned how to carve on this level. And the only place on the planet where you could go to school, you have to go to school. There's no doubt about it. You got to have the tools to do this shit. You see what I'm saying? You got to have the tools, you got to have the teachers. That's no different than learning an advanced skill today. Nigga, you not gonna learn it in the basement, nigga. And you can get all the how-to books you want to. Some shit you just got to go the masters is teaching. You talking about like building skyscrapers today. You got to go to school, nigga. You got to go somewhere where they got, because you're gonna need different types of teachers to build on that level. You need architect, they got to draw the blueprints up, and then you got different types of engineers for aspects of the damn building. You got motherfucking engineers just for the damn elevator, but you know what it takes to make an elevator? Shit, they had to invent the damn motor and certain type of cables and shit. But the motor came before the elevator. They didn't create the motor before the elevator. The motor was invented for something else. But once they learned how to build motors, then they was able to say, okay, well, let me put a motor on this damn rope and on it, and, and we're gonna make an elevator. But it takes different, advanced technologies to come together to be able to do shit like that. And so when you have super complex creations, I call them super complex creations. What is a super complex? Where it take 50 different sciences to come together to make one thing. And so a skyscraper, you got to have motherfuckers that know how to melt steel and make. And so you got to have this the iron smelters and shit. Then it's other, it's just so many other aspects that go into it. And so it will require, I mean, a civilization that got masters in 60, 70, 80, 90 different subjects. This when you in an advanced civilization to be able to do something like that. Ain't no motherfucker just gonna up and some, just, you know, uh trip off into building no damn skyscraper or no damn megalithic structure or even this head. You got to go to school. What school would teach somebody on this planet? Because this is an art form, even right looking at that. That art form, whoever the masters that cut this, man, they've been cutting stone for thousands of damn years. And so the crazy shit is that these heads appeared in the very beginning. So where did they learn how to cut these heads? Because it damn sure wasn't in the Americas because they was the first one. And do you know they have no megalithic structures before these heads in stone? Do you know that? They don't have no structures in the Americas before these heads. And do you know that they were never able to produce the exquisiteness of these heads except the original, like fifth, what was it, 15? The original 15 was the most exquisite that these heads ever, the level of exquisiteness was at its height with the original 15, 16 heads. After that, it deteriorated and it never achieved this level of greatness ever before or after. So wherever they came from, they were fresh out of school of master teachers. Where at on the planet could you learn how to carve heads like that? You know, imagine that. And at that time, Egypt was the only place. I don't know if I've even seen. I had to look at India as far as they statues. I had to look at some statues over there. But this is African, so I ain't worried about it. I know there's other things that prove to me that it was from Egypt, or Nubia at the least. Nubia or Egypt was the only place that could teach you how to carve heads like this. You see? So, this is all the proof I need. Again, when you looking at just the similarities and shit, when you looking at that damn Stella, look at that Stella right there. The round it's the same design. You see, what is the chances that you're gonna have pyramids, step pyramids? You got obelisks. I mean, you didn't have the obelisk, but you had the stone sarcophagus, huh? You had it's other shit, but I'm just looking at some main shit that you could see that this is a Nile Valley influenced civilization without no damn doubt about it. There's no way, people can come up with a fishing hook or a bow and arrow and shit. They don't need, that's possible. That's possible for a motherfucker to come up with a spear, a fucking hook, and all of that. Do y'all know that the base of this pyramid right here, a Teotihuacan, is damn near identical to the same, not this one, but the father, the Khufu. It has the same base. all the way around, got the same damn base. What is the likelihood that that damn pyramid right there got the same base as the pyramid over here? That's crazy, you know? That's just crazy that, but the truth is out. And that's why they need AI and all this other shit to fool motherfuckers into believing. That's why you got to read. You got to read. You got to get you some books. You got to get you some books outside of what this shit is on this AI, because they're gonna try to erase everything that they can so that they could get away. But ain't no way, because I'm gonna put a lot of shit out before I'm gonna put a lot of videos out. They're gonna have to get rid of me and shit. And I don't think they're gonna be able to do it. But that's my proof, family. But I appreciate y'all coming out and working out with the general. It's late, but I'm up, man. I'm up. I ain't worried about it. Matter of fact, my dad's birthday today, so I'm gonna most definitely work out. So I'm coming back. I don't know if y'all going nighty night, but if you a mad guy and you work out in the twilight, then come on back, because the general about to put in some work. Get over to Patreon. I got some work over there, family. You see, I'm getting warm. I'm warming back up, so don't dare miss it. I'll see y'all in a minute. Black Power.